heidi-ho from some BLM land here just outside of Tucson, and specifically the western side of Tucson, very near the Saguaro National Park, that western side of the park. It's actually split on the eastern side of Tucson and the western side of Tucson. We are here in the area for 3 nights where we plan to check out, hike, and explore both areas. We're not sure where we're going to start, probably here on the west side because that's where we ended up. We'll tell you all about it when we start our first hike and what that first hike is coming up right now.
While we were enjoying our evening fire and bourbon, I happened to notice something moving across the sky that looked like a rocket. I was confused though, as it wasn't ascending, only traveling across the sky. Jay grabbed some footage while I searched for an explanation. Turns out that SpaceX had just launched from the West Coast to deploy 22 Starlink satellites. Beyond this excitement, it was a relaxing night and we were well rested to start our early hike. Saguaro National Park-West is also called the Tucson Mountain District. These mountains were formed by volcanic activity 70 to 75 million years ago and range from an elevation of 2,180 feet to 4,687 feet and contains 2 biotic communities, desert scrub and desert grassland. This portion of the national park covers around 24,000 acres with over 40 miles of hiking trails. We noticed that while the park hiking map listed many loops, you actually need to link together a few trails to accomplish any of them. The loop you are seeing now is the King Canyon Gold High Loop. After our discussion with a park volunteer on the prior afternoon, we decided to take her suggestion of this one. The trail leads to Wasson Peak, which is the tallest mountain in the Tucson Mountain Range at 4,687 feet. The 360-degree views were as breathtaking as climbing to the top. After enjoying our lunch at the peak, we hit the trail to make our way back down. The Hugh Norris Trail traveled along the ridgeline with many switchbacks to the Sendero Esperanza Trail and then the Gold Mine Trail, which had remnants and ruins from copper mining long ago. We ended with 8.1 miles and almost 1,900 feet of elevation gain, which was all in the first half of the hike climbing Wasson Peak.
Well, today has been an absolutely lovely day, including our new campsite, which you have just seen some images of. It's really nice. This new campsite, however, is now over on the east side of the park. We've gone ahead and made the transition. Big reason why was Chatty Cathy me on the trail today. I talked to several locals along the way, and they said, oh, this is the trail. This is the thing you really want to see.
The best one.
And after talking to several of them, we just sort of felt like the box was checked and we were done, and maybe it was time to move over here and check out something new. So the plan is tomorrow morning to get up really first light, make our way into the scenic drive, as well as maybe do a few smaller hikes and some of the loops on this side of the park. Now what that does is it leaves us a full day ahead, and another reason we were a full day ahead is we had actually packed all of our stuff to backpack, and then the tomorrow night we were going to be backpacking here on the east side up to
Grassy Shack.
Grassy Shack, that's right. The national park here has a warning. One of the warnings is vehicle break-ins occur. And we've now spoken to two of the rangers or the info folks at the visitor centers, trying to get a feel for whether that's crimes of convenience or whether it's a real thing. And both of them in body language, and the one young lady, what'd she say?
She said, well, yeah, but they'll also break your window.
Yeah, so that's more than convenience. And she goes, just don't have anything exposed. Well, okay, that's
it's a little difficult.
That's not the easiest thing for us to do. Would be to cover everything up as much as we need to. So that's the reason that we're not going to backpack, and that's the not only us moving a little quicker, but then nixing that from the schedule. So I'm not sure what we're going to get into day after tomorrow, but who cares? We'll see you when we wake up and when we hit this east side to check it out in the morning.
Saguaro National Park-East is also called the Rincon Mountain District. These mountains were formed by geological movement 20 to 30 million years ago. While much younger than the Tucson Mountain District, the Rincon ranges from an elevation of 2,670 feet to a much higher 8,666 feet and contains 4 additional biotic communities. Starting from the lowest elevation, they include desert scrub, desert grassland, oak woodland, pine oak woodland, pine forest, and mixed conifer forest. This portion of the national park covers approximately 67,687 acres with over 128 miles of hiking trails. But similarly to the west, multiple must be used to hike a loop.
Well, we have had really the whole place to ourselves all morning on at least a little over half of the scenic drive and loop. We've made it to the trailhead. We're the only vehicle there. We hadn't set any of our gear up last night, so we had a half hour at the truck getting our packs and water and stuff ready, and still no one. There was one photographer in here, and I think it's been us in this section all morning. So yeah. Early bird gets the worm.
Yes.
Yet again, getting up early, and you're rewarded for doing so. We've made it to our trailhead. We're going to go do a smaller hike today, 3.7, 3.8-ish, I believe. Here that comes now.
With Saguaro being a suburban park, the entrance gate didn't open until 5 a.m. They warn that parking is limited and often fills quickly, so we wanted to be one of the first in. The one-way scenic drive is 8 paved miles and has several overlooks and trails from it. The first short hike we did that morning, which was more of a stroll, was the 3/10 of a mile Desert Ecology Nature Trail. We then headed to the Loma Verde trailhead to take on the Loma Verde Pink Hill Squeeze Pin Loop. While this hike did offer a more immersive experience to the saguaros, it lacked the floral blooms we had on the prior day's hike. We ended with 4 miles and just about 160 feet of elevation gain. Our visit to Saguaro was nice and we thoroughly enjoyed our hikes, but we would be lying if the warnings and comments from park officials about vehicle break-ins didn't leave us uneasy when out on the trail and away from the truck. If it were not for this, we may have been a little more motivated and willing to explore more. Well, there you go. That is the Saguaro National Park.
That's right. We are now going to go ahead and head out of here. And as to what we do with our spare time, well, I think we're just headed over to a local national forest. I can't remember the name now, so I'll put it somewhere right there and just explore.